Okay, so now we're gonna do our second set of undercases, and we're gonna start with the letter B, and we're gonna start from the ascender line down to the baseline. We're gonna go up in a little curve and down thick, and up in a little curve again, almost to the X height. Okay, so do you notice that I'm following the slant that's marked on the pages? That's so our letters are a little slanted, and that I think that makes them look a lot better. But of course, you'll be developing that when you go on as you start to gain more experience, and you'll start to develop your own style. So, I mean, for the sake of this exercise, you should follow the slant, and then later you will work your own style into it. So we're going to do another B here. We're going to down to the baseline, and then up X height, down thick, up thin, down to the baseline, up to the X height, down thick, up thin. Our next letter is the letter H, and we're going to start from the baseline, and we're going to go up from the baseline to the ascender line like this in a loop, and then we're going to come down thick, and then we're going to do a little curve up and down. So from baseline to ascender in a thin line, and then down in a thick stroke to the baseline again, and then up to the X height and down to the baseline again, and a curve towards the X height. We're going to continue with our K's, and it's going to be a very similar stroke to our H's. It's going to be down from the baseline, just like our H, up to the ascender line, down towards the baseline, and then up towards the X height, and then we're going to come down thick like this to the middle of the X height and the baseline, and we're going to come down thick again and up. Okay? So I like to think of this as a little miniature R, like this, an uppercase R. So from baseline to the ascender line, down thick and up and down thick and down thick again and up thin. Okay, so if you feel I'm going too fast, feel free to pause the video at any time so that you can practice on your own. We're going to continue with our letters. Our next one is the letter M, and we're going to start with a down stroke, a down thick stroke. Then we're going to go up thin, down thick, up thin, down thick, and up. Remember, I'm doing these end strokes because that's going to help connect our letters once we start doing words. Down thick, up thin, down thick, up thin, down thick, and up again. I love the letter M. Maybe it's because my name starts with an M. I think it's a very pretty and symmetrical letter. I love to draw it. Now we're moving on to the letter N, and we're going to start from the X height to the baseline. So basically it's the same letter with one less curve. So we're going to start, we do down, thick, and then up thin, down thick, up thin. And again, down thick, up thin, down in a curve, and up thin. We're going to do another one. Down thick, up thin to the X height line, and then down to the baseline, up to the X height again. Now we're moving on to our next letter. We're going to start from the X height down to the descender. I'm going to follow the slant that I have marked on the paper. I'm going to come up to the X height, down to the baseline. I'm going to do a little loop here. From X height to descender, I'm going to follow up with that in this same stroke. I'm going to go up down, and up again. Okay, so from X height to descender line, and then from baseline you go up and down in a curve and up again to the X height. Our next letter is the letter S, and I'm going to give you two ways to do it because they're both very popular and they're both very pretty. And so we're going to go from the baseline to the X height in a thin line, and then we're going to come down from the X height to the baseline, and we're going to do a little loop right here, and then we're going to come up again. So this is the first way to do it. I'm going to do it again from the baseline up to the X height in a little curve, and then we're going to go down in a thick line, and then up again thin to the X height. Up, down, curve, and then come up again to the X height. And the other way to write it is just the regular S that we use in our day-to-day handwriting. So it's going to be just like a normal S like this, but now with a thick stroke and thin. Okay? And we're going to come up like this. So we're doing, like when we start an oval, we're going to start right there, just a little below the X height line. We're going to go up thin, down thick, and we're going to come up. This is what happens sometimes when the transitions aren't so smooth. Do you see how this transition doesn't look so smooth? So what I like to do sometimes is just fill it in and it'll look better. This is our second group of letters.